What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. The Eagles have beaten the Dallas Cowboys, improved to 8-1. We're talking about it here on Agree to Disagree. Come join us. Let's go. And I got to find that. We're excited.
What's up, my family? Listen, first-time listener, or you've been here the whole damn time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, giddy up, let's go, no notes.
That's my baby.
That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Slap.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah!
What the f*** are you talking about? Welcome in, everybody, to Agree to Disagree, only on A2D Radio. Every Sunday, we are brought to you by our doc, make them yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, location in Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Find them around the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. We are also, right, well, let's get all of the people on the show, as always. Brian Wilson, Greg Milakovic, Nick DelGozzo is going to be with us in a minute. I'm Thomas Arnone. Everybody out there, welcome in. We plan to have a great show. Eagles are 8-1. We take down the Dallas Cowboys. Right, so we have all that to talk about, and we're also brought to you by Royal Billiard. And Royal Billiard is a premier game room store in the Delaware Valley, stocked with the very best in pool tables, accessories, shuffleboards, card tables, dart supplies, bars, bar stools, turn any ordinary room into an extraordinary gaming experience. Oh, did we mention they have hot tubs too? Go check them out, 515 Bethlehem Pike. Call them RPA or visit them on the web, royalbilliard.com. So, we got a lot to go over.
To get a soak. Get a soak in.
Get a soak in. We'll do Crumb in a week at the end of the show. All right. If you're soaking tonight, you probably might Crumb in a week because I would love a soak. Around the NFL, we'll circle it. We'll talk about it. We'll give you the players of the game. Eagles, Cowboys, and our main topic at hand, Eagles, Cowboys. It's the post-game show here. Ties all into our poll question. We talk about everything tonight. Everything Eagles is open, right? But you should be excited tonight. We'll get into this in a second. But you should be jazzed up tonight about the state of your football team, even though the Cowboys were at the 5-yard line. At one point, it felt like they were going to score somehow. And yeah, so there was a lot going on there at the end. Sloppy play by both, right? Undisciplined play by both teams. So neither team won it at the end, but the better team advances per se here and improves to 8-1. So ties into our poll, and our poll is brought to you by Baggio's Bread. They're located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pies, sandwiches, cutlets, meatballs. You mentioned HUD Radio, get 10% off your order. Go check them out. Baggio's Bread, Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Our poll. This Eagles team is better than last year's team. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. There's obviously two ways to look at it. You look at last year's team. I mean, it got to a Super Bowl, right? Not easy to do, right? But that team's different, right? That team on opening drives scored like 9 straight weeks in a row, where this team has scored twice, has 2 TDs on opening drives. So teams are different, right? The way we scored and operated is different. This team's tougher in a weird way, tougher in terms of like they're in a lot more battles. That doesn't mean they're better, right? It doesn't mean they're better. It just means they look a little bit more battle tested in terms of all the close games, right? Per se that they've been in, or just the way they played a little bit, right? Like today's another example. It's like we can't just finish a game, right? We have trouble closing games sometimes. But the Jalen's better than last year, outside of turning the football over, right? Like he didn't turn the football over today. When he's better than last year. Like his pocket presence, his awareness, things like that. He looks better than last year, especially since he's come to life here over the last 3 or 4 weeks, right? Where he's really started to play at a high level. So he's starting to look better than last year. I think, his connection with AJ is somehow better than it was last year. And that's not me,
I mean, it
Captain
is.
Obvious. Yeah, it's not Captain Obvious
yeah.
there. So a lot of things are better than last year, right? So it's hard to say like, hey, a team that went to a Super Bowl, this team's better. But this is what we do here. This is what makes it fun. This is, right? This team's 8-1. And last year you can make case to this time of the year. They weren't even tested if you want to play that game with me, right? To everybody out there, all the naysayers, last year's Eagles team was never tested early on, right? They didn't have any tough games, but we've had some tough games. We played some tough teams here down in our last little stretch here, and we've won both of those football games at home Granted, but that's what you're supposed to do at home, right? Dallas is a good football team, right? We tried giving them the game. They tried giving it back. We ended up taking it. Here we are, but we're 8-1, and we beat the Cowboys. And, the Dolphins haven't played well since we beat them, but we haven't, or since they scored 60, but, or 70, but we beat a good Dolphins team that came in here, right? So it's not like you can't say this year's Eagles team actually strength of schedule-wise beat more than last year's, right? To make them, air quote, you can say, argue that, hey, they're better that way. So not trying to be like in the moment of this team, but I'm going to go off of what I thought before the year started. Like I said before the year started, Greg remembers it probably more on Wednesday previews, but of like, this team's built better, right? It's not showing. It's not showing in the secondary, obviously, right now. It's not showing by the pass rush because that's not getting home at all. That's not enough. Now, got home late when you needed it to, and that's big money plays, and that's what you want. But overall, I didn't get home enough, and at times Dak had way too much time in the pocket, and of course you're going to pick guys apart, right? So that's something that isn't as good as last year. But offensively and other things, I think they're tougher. I think they've won closer games. Doesn't mean they're better because you win closer games. It just means you're a little more battle tested. So through all that little conversation, I'm going to, with myself right there, right? I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree they're better because I said they're better before the year started. So why am I going to run from that? But there's arguments for both sides. One team went to a Super Bowl, obviously. Okay. But this team I thought was better because they were younger in some places. And you really thought the quarterback's maturation was going to take a step more too. And over the last 3 weeks, it absolutely has. Like he's played at an elite level the last 3 weeks. That's not even up for debate. That's elite. So to everybody out there on Facebook that doesn't claim he has the ability to play at an elite level, there it is. That's why you get smoked for your first couple weeks, right? Joe Burrow, same thing in Cincinnati, right? You get smoked for your first couple weeks, even though he was hurt, but you get smoked for when you're not performing. So what do you guys say? Do you guys agree or disagree? And James, appreciate the super chat. We'll get right to it.
James,
we'll get right to it.
It's funny, Tommy. Since we go on the bye next week, right? So through the first 10 weeks of both seasons, we definitely through the first 10 weeks because we had a bye early last week. We're in the same spot, 8-1, right? But if you look back at that schedule, to your point, didn't necessarily play anybody, right? You weren't tested early like this team has been. I want to agree, but the only thing keeping me from that is the secondary, right?
Is you?
Yes, is me. I thought the defense in the secondary last year played a lot better than what they're currently playing right now. Now, to that point, this team is making the big stops when they need them. And I guess in theory, that's all that matters, right? You get torched all game, but then you come back and you make the big plays when you need to. So in a sense, I'm actually contradicting myself. Which I always love to do here on the show. But I will disagree.
Contradiction.
I think, as of right now, I'm going to go with last year's team. But
Appreciate
Tommy,
that.
I do agree with you. This team on paper should be better than last year's team.
Yeah, and that's not a shot at last year's team. It's just like what you had differently that last year's team didn't have.
Correct.
In certain spots. And last year's team was obviously, it looks like, to be way deeper in the fact that they can get after the quarterback a lot more.
Yeah,
that's all. Remember, it's the Cowboys team. We held to 6 points in the second half. So to your point, Greg, right now, woulda, coulda, shoulda. I know they could have kicked the field goal there. They were an inch away, right? They were an inch away from 2 points. I get it, but it's a game of inches anyway. But in reality, that was really inches. That's a little too I don't like that close of an inch. But in reality, numbers wise, it's like okay, right? Okay, our offense is the one that went quiet in the fourth.
Yeah.
Like, how about a pulse from you? You guys got a little stagnant. You let your foot off the gas. So in reality, defense did its job in the second half. But go ahead, spin it around.
I'll go.
Top around.
I think we're better on offense than we were last year. I think we're more explosive as well with Swift. Dallas might have broke his arm, which is hopefully he didn't. Right now, I'd say that last year's team might be slightly better. But it's neck and neck. I mean, we're probably the best team in the NFL right now. If you had to ask me, I'd say best team in the NFL is us. So, last year at this point, I think we were the best team in the NFL as well. So it's like picking hairs, But mainly, I guess the reason I would go last year's is because of we're turning the ball over more this year, and we haven't played as well in the secondary for sure. We're definitely turning the ball over more, and we just haven't been great in the red zone. So that's probably why I would say last year's is just slightly ahead, but it's only slightly. And I still think we're the best team in the NFL. And that was a big gutsy win today, especially because another reason that we're probably a little better last year is that we've been very undisciplined and we've been taking way too many penalties. Shit, the last drive we have a fucking personal foul roughing the passer. We have a defensive pass interference and an offsides, and we still stop them somehow. Just amazing, outrageous, really. But like you said, like Greg said, we're getting the job done when we have to get it done. When we need stops, we're getting stops. BG sighting out of nowhere today, out of Witsec. But hey, we'll take it. Big time for it, so we'll take it. And on to the next one. Obviously, there were some scary moments there. Jalen getting hit low was a little scary. But hey, good time for the bye. Jalen's playing great. Hopefully we can keep it moving. I'll say last year slightly, but I love the team right now. Love where we're moving.
All right, so that's 2 disagrees. All right, sweeps.
Yeah, I always falling to disagree, just because where they ended up last year. You know what I mean? So to me, you got to get there first. All right, so I mean they're doing everything that they're supposed to do, and I agree with Will. Well, that's the reason why I disagree is because I thought last year at this time it was hands down. I don't know if it's hands down this year. I think they're the best team in football. I don't think it's hands down. All right, and that's you don't have to be. I mean, it's the NFL. All right, there's a lot of good. All right, I'm just saying comparing the 2 years. Last year, no ballot down it. No ballot down it. All right, doesn't matter. Whatever happened in the Super Bowl, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? They were the best team in football from pillar to post. Right, and it didn't end the way that Eagle fans would want. But that was to me was a no-brainer. This year, it's record-wise and the way they're resilient. They're probably more resilient than last year. You know what I mean? Because people want to use the luck word. Listen, everybody needs luck when you're trying to win football games or you're trying to win any athletic event. You need luck. Right? I have no idea still, if you rewind that, how Parsons doesn't have that football. It's incredible. I don't know what AJ's doing there.
They got it down there anyway. And they got it back down there anyway somehow. Right? In an amazing way.
Why are we running a shotgun out?
Yeah, I have no idea. Bradbury's got to get his head around. That's an egregious penalty. All right? It's just, he just, what I mean? If the guy's wide open and you want to, bring him down, that's fine. But you got to get your head around it. You put him right back, like Tom said. You went from a terrible decision by their punt returner to get bailed out right there. Right at midfield.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But they were resilient all year. So what I mean, and they're creating that resilience too, and that's why I say that's different from what haters want to say. Oh, they're lucky and all that stuff. Resilience is different than luck because then you make the plays. Okay, the Cowboys got down there to 10. Right, Dak is the dum who took the sack. Great job. Off the edge. Right, destroyed the tackle. Right, that guy. He should be docked out of his paycheck. I mean, another grown man taking another grown man and just absolutely putting him where he wants to put him. I mean, that was amazing. But this is your franchise quarterback. If you're a Cowboy fan, you can't take a sack there. You throw it right through the goalpost like TB12 and the rest of the greats. Right? You think that's impossible. Right? But Eagles made a play. That's it. And then, third and 21 from the 22. There's not many plays you can throw up, but you surely can't throw it short. But the Cowboys will Cowboys. So, a good win all around. Took some punches. I think both teams, obviously traded blows, and then the Eagles came out. Those 2 touchdowns, in the third quarter, just kind of set the tone. And I almost felt like they were cruising from that, though. They had, that's where you get a little worried. You got to put teams away. I understand the Cowboys are a good team, but you had a chance to take their throat there. You know what I mean? And you didn't. You let them in the game. And, McCarthy, even though, like Tom said, it woulda, coulda, shoulda, I don't care about the inches. I'm more talking about how football's supposed to be played. You're down 11, got to kick that, Mike. All right, That's why you're not a good coach. You're down 11, you got to kick that.
I get you want to be ballsy, and there's ballsy. There's ballsy, and then there's being stupid. There's being downright stupid. Like I get it. It's I don't like it. All right, I get it. I'm on the 4-yard line, 3-yard line, whatever. I don't want to kick that ball ever. I want to score a touchdown. All right, I get you want to score a touchdown, but for the sake of your team, right? You kick it there. You maybe win this football game, right? All right, maybe because things can always change from there, right? The complexity of the game, whatever. But you did it. So, and then the Eagles, listen, they stopped running plays. I don't even know. I don't even know what we did in the fourth quarter. Like I don't even know what we did in the fourth quarter. I got a problem with that. Now, at the end of the day, listen, I like it. I like it because it's a poll that I think that some people, there's a lot out there that are going to agree with, and there's a lot out there that disagrees, and we're going to find out at the end of the year, right, who's better. And it's hard to be better than last year's unless you win it, right? Yeah. Or you're just as good. So, but the
resiliency was a good word. Sorry.
Yeah, they're resilient. That's what they are. They're
really good word by Sweeps there. We're very resilient, and you know what it is, Tommy? We find ways to win. Rather than lose. Like, even it doesn't matter what's really going on in the game. I trust that Jalen's going to find a way to get us to the finish line.
Make a big play, right? Yeah. Right, run for a first down.
It's literally the best thing I can say about him is that I trust that he's going to find a way to win pretty much every game we're in.
Because what is he? Because what is he? I mean, him and Nick have won a ton of football games in the NFL now.
I got a little nervous when he got hit in the knee. I'm not going to lie.
No, of course. But I'm saying, like, him and Nick have won a lot of football games in the NFL together, right? Like, you know, now you're talking about a big sample size of, like, how many games have you guys won together? They won a shit ton, right? Like, that's almost like record-breaking shit, the shit that they're doing. Regular season, I get it, you don't get a trophy for that, but regular season stuff that they've been doing is almost like, I feel like record-breaking. I don't go on Stat News and look it up, but I would like to know what it is, because if I meet two other guys that over 3 years have won as many football games or right, in 3 years, won as many football games as those two have.
Yeah, it's like Peyton and Brady.
Probably Andy and Pat.
Yeah, Andy and Pat, that's the one, right? Andy and Pat, they're the guys. Like, so if you're at that standard, like, I'm feeling good about what's going on here. James, appreciate the super chat. He goes, a win is a win, but man, biggest issue was 3rd and 3 throw instead of running out the clock, but 6 points in the second half from the defense is huge. And that's what we were talking about, right? Like, okay, they were there. They had a chance for 12, right? 14, maybe another 7. They could have scored 20. They could have scored 21 there, right? So, I mean, there's nothing for the Cowboys scoring 21 in the second half. They didn't because they made some big plays. And the Eagles front that I was critical of, that I thought was like at times disappearing up front, not getting any pressure, they did walk away with 5 sacks today. So, at the end of the day, the pressures might not have been there, but the get homes in big spots were definitely there. And guess what? We've said it every week. We got things to clean up. Every week we've done this together. Yep. We got things to clean up, but we're 8-1. And it feels good cleaning it up together. Feels good cleaning it up.
Does.
Because like you said, well, I trust that I don't trust the defense right now, but I trust
not really
that Jalen, you know, is going to keep us in football games. Right? Or make a big play to bring us back in a football game. So that's all I have to know. You know what I mean? That's all I have to know. Because this offense, I feel like when they want to turn the gas on, right, and when they really want to turn the heat up, they do. Right? When they need a score, they score. Like Cowboys 7-0, back. Or no, we scored 7-0, right? They answer, we come answering right back, right? Like those response drives that you see them have, right? And then they got hot and right, when we take a lead. Right, but those response drives that they have are so important, and I think this shows you that they can score when they really lock in.
Yeah, you know, like I said, sometimes as long as they don't get cute, sometimes we remarked before about, like, you know, it feels like Nick's playing, you know, Madden. Like, he kind of like, that's where you sometimes got to step back and say, hey, this is real life. You know, that 3rd and 3. You know, we all hate the long ball, but you could probably get, if you ran 2 plays with the tush push, you're going to pick up the first down. The game's over.
Yeah. That was what was strange about that. You're right.
I hate the throw. I hate the throwing it out of bounds even more than the play call. Like, it's only 3rd and 3. If you're going to throw it, run a pattern to get 3 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that ball being thrown in a place like either out of bounds or only he can catch it. Because obviously I don't want to pick there.
But I hear you that.
Yeah, I don't want
pick.
I'm not a fan of a pick there. So
if that's 3, then you throw it up in the 600 level, of course.
Yeah. So I mean, but I agree with you. I mean, maybe not 3rd and 3 because we see guys come up 2, right? But you run that route 4 yards. I mean, that's what you say to guys. So, if I'm coaching guys up, I'm not saying you're running 3 yards. You run 4. We make sure we're deeper in the stick at all time
because 5-yard hitch.
Because at the end of the day, how many times do you come back to your quarterback? How many times do you come back to the football a little bit? Even in those you got 3rd and 4.
I feel at all times you should run 2 yards past the stick, basically, because you almost always have to come back, right, Tom?
You're always coming back,
always.
But in a shorter term, right? You're not coming back as much in a 3rd and 3, right? But that's why you go 4, because you make sure we clear it. Maybe you get to 3.5. I don't know, but you sure as hell don't go 3 or 2.9.
You just alluded to it earlier, right? With the goal line touchdown being overturned. I mean, like I think you don't run anything short. Now they were talking about Ferguson.
That was a good play by Blankenship.
Ferguson didn't get enough spacing, so Blankenship would have followed him, but still.
Yeah, they tried to rub him.
Either way, you don't cut that up short.
Yeah, you're hoping your guy breaks a tackle there, right? Like that, like a lot of these guys design these things, hoping guys break tackles and banking on their player, being more elusive going to the ground than the guy tackling him, which is, I guess, but that's not how I would teach it, right?
Yeah, get it in their hands. Like that one, I mean, you're 100% right. That one was just, by the time Reed caught up, he grabbed him, which is, there's incidental contact in this leg. Who cares? He got a piece of him, and then the dude just, the dude kind of had to lay out.
Good old
they wanted the other tight end or whatever to rob Blankenship better than he did. Blankenship made a good play.
Well, listen, Greg, this was a great game, right? Like as a fan, like not only as a fan, as an Eagles fan, but a fan of either team or people in the NFL watching, other fans, like this was an entertaining game. It was an entertaining game. It was a dogfight.
It was.
Right?
It was fun.
Yeah, this was a flat out backstreet brawl. I mean, a backyard brawl. Like this is what this is. This was, hey, let's just go throw some knuckles around because I saw some guys were getting hit out there, right? I saw the physicality, the speed of the game, right? The big plays from both quarterbacks. Both quarterbacks made big plays in this game, and Dak's always owned us. And to me, feels good. Last thing right here, it just feels good beating him because I feel like
it really does.
I don't know what it's like to beat Dak Prescott. I feel like anytime he's healthy, he's beating us.
I mean, 7-1 in this last 8 against us.
Yeah, it's nice to get a win versus Dak, but no, it's bigger because that's huge. This is huge because we know we got a gauntlet, right? And it started with Miami, and now we're 3 games in, and it's like 9-game stretch, right? Or 8-game stretch, whatever it is, of like a lot of tough teams, right? So, this is important. Now you're 3-0 into that 9 stretch. You get a bye week, and now you come out, you got Kansas City, you got other big boys. But now, not only do you get the game from them, right, and hit them in the loss column, but now you help out tiebreaker wise with that already too. So that's huge early on in the year. This was a bigger game for Dallas than it would be for us if you want to look at it from that perspective. Now it's always
like a win and a half,
us.
really.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah,
and they need that. They're 5-3 now. We're 8-1. Not saying you can't catch us because we got a gauntlet, but this is a game where hey, you got to find a way to win this game. This game's at home too. With the stretch you have, you better. I know you got some tough teams coming in, right? Miami, Dallas, and then it'll keep going. But you got to win those games because you're better than those teams. They're good football teams, but you're better than them. You got to win those games at home. Yeah. You don't have a choice when you're at home, right? If you got a schedule like this, right? You don't got a goddamn choice.
We got KC and Buff coming up, right?
Yeah, not easy.
The bye week, then at KC, and then home for Buff, home San Fran, and then at Dallas, at Seattle.
Yeah, so really tough. Yeah, really tough.
Yeah, bye couldn't come at the perfect time. No, perfect time for the bye. Got a little bit banged up there in the secondary, especially late. And then of course Dallas, obviously, going out. Potentially, I guess, like what, broken forearm, hyperextended elbow, one of the two things, right? You know what I mean?
It didn't look good.
And so the bye comes at the perfect week, and it allows you to breathe and reset and get ready for a Kansas City team. I think they might be coming off the bye too because they were in
their bye week. They're Andy bye week talk. So you know how that goes. Right, we know. We definitely know.
And Rob, Dak hasn't played here a lot last few years. He was hurt a bunch.
Yeah, I was going to say
he has not boned us.
How good is record?
That's not a
And I
We're
was
not
like,
making that up.
I know they obviously said how good his record was. I'm like, I don't think he played the last couple times because I know they haven't beat the Eagles, so I don't know where that's stacking.
Yeah, I think the like that 8-3 in the last 11 and stuff like that. They all, even Dak 8-1 or 7-1 in the last 8 or up until today. A lot of them haven't been meaningful games though, right? It's like that week 18 where it didn't mean anything to us. You know, some of the other games weren't very meaningful in the sense of like.
Well, they
this
haven't
game,
been
right?
recent. They haven't been recently.
Right.
You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Greg? They were more like 4 or 5 years ago when he was beating us like twice a year. Recently, he wasn't playing, or we were beating them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Or we lost the one where we didn't care about.
Yep.
You know what? And Marley says it good here. Like, we took Dak's best shot. I know Sweeps texted earlier in a group chat. I think it was Sweeps. But he was like, Dak's on fire, right? Like, Dak's feeling it or something, right? Dak's feeling it because he was in a groove, right? And when you get a quarterback in a groove like that, you're like, uh-oh. So to Marley's point, like, I agree too. You know, I think that way too. Like, we did take their best shot in terms of Dak. Like, Dak was on the money today. So if there was a time where we took his best shot, we did, right? In that aspect of it, you know, I'll agree with.
Yeah,
you know,
He played well. He played well.
Dylan, I think they attacked them. When you talk about Tyler Steen, they attacked them. They disrupted him. Obviously, he's a rookie. This is not easy.
Doesn't matter what else. Doesn't matter what else he did. I know he's still just talking. I'm having fun. Doesn't matter what else he did. He recovered the biggest fumble of his life. Because we almost witnessed a butt fumble too. Couldn't even believe what I was saying. Bianca's like, "What's the screaming?" I'm like, I couldn't believe my eyes.
Yeah, honestly, he basically pulled it away from Parsons. Parsons had it.
Yeah, he Parsons.
I don't know how he didn't get it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was huge. It was huge, and so biggest fumble recovery of the season so far. And Umberto, I was worried about cornerback play coming into the year. I mean, nobody's been more critical of like they're older corners. They're older corners in a fast league. So I mean, I don't know how that goes well for any corner, right? Like that's never age is undefeated, right? So you know, I don't know. I don't know how that goes for them, and you can see it now. Not as much Slay, but Bradbury's really feels like he's real old. Like he got old overnight. So he looks bad. He looks, but again,
he made one big play though on fourth down. Though he did.
He did. But guess what? You're not gonna, like I said at the deadline, you're not gonna trade one of those two because of their veteran stuff. So you're not gonna do that, right? And especially you're 7-1, so you're gonna ride with those guys. But it's definitely a point of emphasis after this year. We just got to hope some more young guys can play. And can Kevin
we
Byard?
Need the young guys to just get more time, Tommy. You know.
And the longer Kevin Byard, and the longer Kevin Byard plays with this group, the better they're going to get to. I think, right? I do think that will help and show itself as weeks go on here. Make sense? As weeks go on, I think the Kevin Byard addition will help this secondary because we're acting like Bradbury and Slay stink. They don't stink, right? They're just showing their age a little bit. They're showing their age. Maybe Bradbury stinks right now, but maybe they both do. But they don't stink overall as players. But right, you know what I mean? But they're just showing they're showing their tooth. They're showing the length of the tooth a little bit.
I just love how you went from full spectrum right there. They don't stink. Well, maybe Bradbury stinks. Maybe they both stink.
Maybe they both stink. I don't know. But you know, they haven't been good enough, right? They haven't been
not at all. Not at all.
Not the way you're expecting, right? So, you know, you knew that could be a case coming into the year. But listen, you're gonna run it back and you're gonna ride with them, and I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? It's better than the unknown right now.
They are
so
veterans.
But now next year moving forward, it's definitely a point of emphasis, you know, that, hey, maybe once in a while you might have to draft one in the first round and actually hit on it, right? So that's things we can talk about when we're not 8-1. We're 8-1 and we, you know, our defense gave up 23 points. So I'm sure as hell not going to walk around this city, right? Like our defense gave up 45 and we won 46-45. Make sense? So, I mean, let's keep it in perspective. You know, Miami, we kept shut down in here, right? I get Washington took it to us, right? I get that part of it. But then we came back against another good football team, and we held them to 23 points. So that's all I can go off of. We held them to 23 points today. So it wasn't great, wasn't perfect, but it's another.
Washington hasn't taken it to us.
Yeah, I don't know either.
A win's a win against Dallas. You just got to get a dub.
Keys, you got to expect it, baby. Keys, every year, Goddard getting hurt, you almost got to expect it. I hate to say, It's almost
If
like,
it-
oh, here we go.
If it's broken, get the surgery. We'll see you in the playoffs, Dallas.
Right? Because it's every year with him. So it's just waiting for it to happen.
It was a weird one today, though. Like, his arm got wrenched. Ugh.
Of course it's going to be. The tight end, he's
yeah.
physical. Like, if you get hurt, you get hurt. Like, I saw it coming because the way his arm was tangled. I'm like, well, that doesn't look good.
Yeah.
You think this opens up an opportunity for Julio?
It goes
A
back.
little older, bigger body, maybe work him in a little bit more at tight end, you think?
You
got a bye week to do
I don't
it?
know if he can block as good enough as Dallas can, but
Yeah.
But I mean, probably more routes for him.
Yeah, definitely more routes for him.
Yeah, whatever.
Definitely.
Yeah, he can.
He just can't block to that level.
Oh,
and
sure.
Goddard's a really good run blocker. That doesn't
He
get
is.
talked about a lot, right?
Yeah.
So now you're like, hey, you're throwing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, they're throwing. See Julio? But
Julio lining up at tight end.
maybe more targets for sure.
Yeah, well,
Bring-
this goes back to years ago with Goddard. I mean, you can't get knocked out, bro. I mean, it started a series of events for you. You know what I mean? Like, we've all been there, but like you can't.
Bad luck. Can't get slumped. Bad luck.
Yeah, you can't, exactly. You can't
Yep.
get
I would have made sure that video never saw light of day. I wouldn't care who I had to pay. That never would have seen light of day. Ever.
Can T. Higgins please have a night? Come on.
I could use I'll be okay with that, Sweeps.
Uh,
I need my cousin tomorrow.
Umberto, I hear you. He's still young and hasn't had a ton of NFL games played. I don't think he's, you said you're out on the Kobe, Umberto. I want to say I'm out. You know what I mean? I think he's got to play better, and we got to see some more from him. I'm not going to say out yet.
We might need to teach our linebackers how to play zone when the guys just pass in front of your face. We just let everyone pass right in front of our face all day long. It's unreal. I'll lose my mind.
They are wide open in the zone. They are all over the place, wide open.
You can't just let them. You learn this early on. You can't, if you're going to play zone, you can't let this guy just run right in front of your face, bump him, do something, follow him, do something.
Yeah, it's got to be better. We talked about that last week too, right?
Yeah, it's unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times are they going to throw a fucking cross right in front of your face all day long? Jake Ferguson's still running them.
Yeah, and that's Jake Ferguson.
Career day against me. Career day. I mean, I make guys champions. I make guys champions. I mean, guys that are just hanging around the water cooler their whole life, their whole fucking life, wait for a fucking little sippy poo. All right, and they we're playing sweet. I'll fucking wake up. I'll wake you right up. I'll wake you right the fuck up.
I can't believe that. But we run. But like again, we talked about why are we running so much zone then. We talked about it last week. Then why do we run so much zone if there seems to be a problem running zone? Obviously you got to run it sometimes. Makes sense. Like you got to keep it honest.
Yeah.
I guess you can't just be all man to man every time. Teams are going to start finding ways to beat you there too. But
and the other part of that too
maybe mix
is
some blitzes in.
That's where I was going. Well, so we were also at that time not getting home a lot, right? The rush wasn't getting there, and then as you said, Tommy, early on, Dak just sat there and just picked us apart because when you're in the zone, guys are going to be open eventually. At some point, in that middle third quarter through the middle fourth quarter, I was like, hey, can we mix in a blitz here every once in a while? Not that we got a blitz every time, but our guys weren't getting home during that stretch, and it just felt like there was just a lot of time back there for Dak to do whatever.
Like I said,
Our linebackers aren't covering anybody. You might as well blitz them.
Pretty basic.
Like we alluded to earlier, like they're just figuring it out. At the huge, at the biggest parts of the, biggest moments of the game. You know what I mean? So that fourth down, as bad as they were, either scheme wise or secondary wise, that fourth down before they got it back, they channeled, he channeled his inner Bellis options, right? They had to settle for. Dak went to Tolbert from the Mexican League. Tolbert, is that you? Fucking from the Mexican League. Took away CeeDee Lamb, and took away Ferguson. So I mean, I thought that was, a tremendous job. I never expected them to get the ball back.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
What a pass.
I don't think anybody thought they were getting the ball back, right? You're like, oh, this is a wrap. And if they do, you get it back with like 30 seconds left, and you got no time, 10 seconds left, right? You get no time left. But
this might be
and again, undisciplined as shit by us, but we still found a way. Like if you would have told us, guess what? They're going to get the ball back, and you're going to have a pass interference, a roughing the passer, and a defensive offsides on the drive.
Yeah.
I was like, well, this game's over. They're going to go down.
Now we just pass interference, like a 25-yard pass interference.
Might have been 30.
That took it to half the midfield.
Might have been 35 yards.
And Reddick's a veteran. He's got it out. Like, I have my buddies are texting me, that's bullshit.
Yeah, that was weak, but you can't hit him.
It's the NFL. You can't do it. So
Yep.
I'm not agreeing with you.
5 seconds after he threw the ball. What are you doing?
We know that it's flag football. The NFL's flag football. So that being said, you can't sneeze on it. You can't.
Yeah.
no, you can't do it. I mean, that late after even an elbow, a fingernail.
You try to help them up like I was going to work.
Yeah, like come on. I mean, you do absolutely have to be smarter. That's egregious, right? That's an egregious personal foul because it's like, come on, bro, time and place. What's with the little love tap late there?
He might be Crumb of the week if we lost after that, because that's just like Bradbury. Get your head around. You can intercept the ball, but the Reddick one is just. I mean, you watched him throw the ball. You took 3 more steps and then pushed him. What are you doing?
He just flagged down for that point. Do you guys see that?
This might be 40-40. This might be a sluggy.
I hope it is. Hope it is. I did a bunch of TD parlays. Would love it.
Did he just get a penalty?
Yeah, for
I
that
think
point.
they gave him a taunting.
They had taunting for that point.
Oh my God, the NFL's so
No
bad.
fun,
It's so bad.
Oh wow. No, listen, man. The Billy Blue Bills. I almost want to call you Billy Blue Balls every time, but
I mean, cooked all right.
And I'd say I just want to call you Billy Blue Balls.
Ain't no big deal.
He's been getting cooked. I mean, it is what it is right now. You listen. He's stuck with these two. I mean, this is what everybody wanted. So I'm not saying I was against it when we brought them both back. I wasn't clamoring for either one of them. I thought maybe you should bring one back just to mix in a younger guy, right? I sure as heck didn't think they were bringing both back. When they did, I said, well, we are in all win now mode. So I'm not against it. So let's see if those guys, there's a bye week. They seem like they're always on the ground, the two of them. So they seem like they're always on the ground. Maybe a good bye week. It's definitely not going to hurt you. So let's see how it helps them out, and maybe they have a little bit better second half run here.
Yeah,
after the All-Star break.
Tolbert broke Bradbury's ankles in the end zone.
Yeah.
Mixtape crossover.
He got cooked a lot, but Slay actually did make a really good tackle on that Dak play, on that run.
Oh yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he whiffed on a couple earlier, but he did get his beak wet on that play.
Listen, like we said, we can criticize them a lot, but when on the big times when they need a big stopper, they need a big pass rush, they've been getting it.
Yeah.
Who picked Dallas to win? Greg, did you pick them?
I did on Wednesday.
I almost landed that plane. 26-23.
Yeah. That's what Carter. Okay, Carter was like, well, he's saying one of you picked them. Yeah, Greg did. Greg picked them.
Yeah, Greg, he's a Crumb.
Delco Green.
Crumb.
Delco Green. Zach could never block, so you might as well just put Julio there. And he's not the same guy, right? So, you're looking for somebody at this point. You're hoping who you have on your roster is a good enough run blocker to start with and pass protector.
Give Gronk a call.
Yeah, see what Gronk's doing. One more run at it. Body probably feels delicious now after some time away. Definitely feels better. Probably doesn't feel delicious with the hits he took.
Honestly, I'd call him in a second.
I'm on the phone with everybody. I want to see what Tony Gonzalez is doing. He probably can catch. Tony TG could probably still catch 40. in this wide open leg. But no, I don't. Listen, I don't. Again, they're gonna let's find out the news about Dallas Cowboys before we assume he's out for the year here. Like if we're talking about like a 4 or 5 weeks, even 6, he's back. He's back before the playoffs start. So even 8 weeks. So I mean, he's gonna have time to heal. So I'm not worried about that as much. Like okay, that's a guy we can get back. Okay, as long as it's not season ending. As long as I don't hear season ending, I'm good right now. We're 8-1.
Eric Ebron.
Oh
I would honestly, Tommy.
Look at Ant. Yeah, I'm available, Ant. Maybe they'll throw me the ball, but other quarterbacks maybe not want to as much.
Go.
You know, not you, Ant. You enjoyed me. We enjoyed each other.
They're in the pot.
Here we go.
Here it is.
Nah, talking about.
Ant had to bring it up.
I'm not talking about guys retired. You know what I mean? We're not going to do that. Where were we? Oh my God, he had 191.
I would hope that Dallas
11 for 191.
Well, I mean, he caught that last one at the 2-yard line.
191. That just went through me. Like, oh my God, I felt like he was all over the field. But then I'm like 191. Okay, yeah. I mean, listen, guys, I get you out there for the Bradbury and the Slay. I mean, keep it coming.
CD 11 for 191. Jake Ferguson 7 for 91.
I almost might want to bring back Uncle Missionary at this point. If this keeps up, you know. Want to find out what he's doing down there in Arizona. Does he like the desert?
Losing.
You know, how's he like the desert? You know, because this isn't, you know, showing the side. And again, listen, I'll give him a little bit. Let's see what the bye week does. Let's see what kind of adjustments they make. And you know, again, not how you start, how they finish. So let's see if we can get some things, you know, that we are glaring cleaned up here, because I do think we can. The talent back there is too good, and it's not like these guys are 35. You know what I mean? And the talent back there is still really good. Let's see if we can get some things cleaned up, because to me, like you talked about, it's probably linebackers' depth, how deep they're getting in zone coverages, and if they're getting enough, if they're not getting enough, if they're letting guys go by their phase easy. So there's a lot of factors there. So, you know, let's see if they can get some of this stuff finally cleaned up.
Yeah, like you said, that's all you're trying to do. As a championship team, you're just trying to stay healthy, tweak some things, and be playing your best football, you know, when it matters. So, you know, when you get to this point, you know, when you get lofty like this, and you're a great organization, you know, like sometimes, you know, you don't take things for granted, but you know, you get a little spoiled. You know what I mean? Because you know, your greatness sometimes can spoil you. You know what I mean? And you know, it doesn't mean that you don't want to get better and you don't want to criticize and all that stuff, but you know, it could always be worse. You know, you can be Carolina. Could you imagine taking Bryce Young? Could you imagine taking Bryce Young with the number 1 pick? Oh my God! Absolutely, step back and blow your face right off. The dude was wearing
out there.
The dude was wearing heels to pro day. He wore lifts to pro day. Because that's how much he knew that it was going to be this. Oh,
so real quick, the votes are in. Votes are pouring in over the poll question right now. Okay, this Eagles team is better than last year's team. You can still vote for it everywhere you're at, especially on YouTube. It's got a live ticker going on in there, but 55% disagree, 45% agree. So that's where we're at. So we're close right now.
Pretty tight.
We're tight. We're tight down to the wire. So keep the agrees coming up. 54-46. I got a word out there. You know what I mean? I said, keep the agrees coming. Did we go to 48? Did we go to 48? Somebody want to say 48? 48? One time 48. Going, gone to 48. No, okay. Players in the game. Players in the game. I want to see if I really had an impact. Right? An impact to the audience. I guess I do not. It's okay too. I just lost a percent. All right. Who's you guys players of the game? Offense and defensive. Listen, do that. I gotta go do a quick happy birthday. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Or I gotta pay. So I might
offensive, I'm gonna jump in and go Hurts offensively.
Yeah.
I mean, Jalen played a great game. He threw some great balls. Obviously, we had the scare where he was hit low, comes back out on the field. He's a tough son of a bitch. Throws a great ball right after that to DeVonta. I just thought he played great. Now, it's obviously the bye's coming at a great time for him because he's a little banged up for sure. So great time for the bye. But like I said earlier, I got full trust in him that he's going to make plays and he's going to get us to the finish line with a win pretty much every time out there. So he's playing great ball, and he's definitely player of the game.
Yeah, and he made some really nice throws today too. You know, throws that we know he's made, but we haven't seen a lot of them this year, right? And he seemed to make some really
I
good
felt like he only
throws
forced
today.
one ball, and it was the triple coverage to AJ Brown in the corner end zone. That was the only ball he forced.
Yeah, and I think there was a couple, like the one to Smitty, hit him in stride, coming across the middle. The one to Dallas, he hit him right, right on the edge, so he could turn upfield. Ironically, it was also the play I think Dallas got hurt on. But his placement of those balls allowed for those guys to pick up the yak. So yeah, I agree. He had a really good game. To be different, I'll go DeVonta. I thought he made some really key catches. He caught all three of his targets for 51 yards and tutty. And that was a really, again, talk about good balls, right? That was a perfect pass. And the people who think,
I think he got 3 feet down.
Yeah, the people who think that DeVonta can't catch anymore, that's gone.
Yeah, nothing, not outstanding numbers, but just good, as an overall offense,
Yep.
Jalen's at 207, but
Yep.
but an efficient 207. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So his typical rushing touchdown that he always has. So he accounted for three touchdowns. So
Tush push.
It's
It's just unstoppable.
so I would definitely I would lean on Jalen as well. I thought he did a great job. I'll tell you who it isn't, and it's Swift. All right, and sooner or later, when these 50-50 fumbles go the other way, you wonder why you got released. All right, you wonder why you're gonna be over there. You're gonna be over there holding the clipboard, dude. All right, 2 fumbles today, and they didn't lose them. So people will say, well, they're not fumbles if you don't lose them. Okay, I get it. Thanks, Mr. Semantics. All right, hang on to the goddamn football. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Ball can't hit the ground.
The second one, I'll give him a pass, but you're right, though. You still can't put it on the ground. The second one,
it's not a pass, Greg. You got to hold the ball.
we got drilled.
I mean, I understand that.
There was
You
just
still
a
gotta
whole bunch
hold
of
the football,
confusion.
Greg.
I hear you.
It's part of the game. I don't care if you get drilled or not. Hold on to the ball.
But my point is, I don't even think he had it to hold on to it
Oh,
because of all that confusion.
He had it. But I mean, listen,
yes,
he obviously wasn't ready to get hit by his own player.
Yeah,
he wasn't ready to
it
get
looked
hit
like
by
he
his own
got knocked
player.
out for a second. It looked like he went like
he might be concussed.
He might be concussed because AJ's not a small guy.
No.
And AJ also had a great game.
Touchdown P.
Let's go. You're ahead of me. Oh, I love you, Will. I love you.
He's out of bounds.
Oh my God, you big son of a bitch! You can't announce that and fuck with me like that. Fred. Oh, you're like 15 seconds ahead of me. Yep.
Oh no! He dacked it.
He dacked it. AJ also had. Speaking of AJ and a monster that he is, he also had a really good game. 7 for 66.
Yeah.
The 125 streak ends. The 125 streak ends, but that's still not a bad day.
Yeah, and no one's really been throwing on Dallas, so just a very reliable day from him. Which is, I mean, that's what you come to expect, really, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. 125s don't grow in trees, but he's another 9 targets. I mean, they're obviously making it a point to get him the football, as they should. So.
I would flatten AJ Brown, Julio Vargas, by the way. Just
like,
threw
20,
310. I would flatten AJ Brown
23 times. Yeah, like you said, kind of modest numbers, sweeps, right? 17 to 23 for 207. So yeah, we didn't, and then we ran the ball 33 times. But Jalen, of course, there was 10 of them. So Jesse, Leonard Fournette was just signed by the Bills, I think, this week.
Yes, he was correct.
Playoff Lenny.
Well, the Bills have been trying to figure out a way to run the ball for 4 years, so might as well get Leonard Fournette, who's averaged about 2.2 yards a carry the last 3 years. That's going to jumpstart it.
We did see a Rashad Penny sighting today.
That's
good to know he's alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
dropped it.
guess what? I know we've been joking about Rashard Penny, and we're saying he looked fat the first time he was in and everything. But if
He
Rashard
does.
Penny can get his burst back that he had in Seattle, he could end up being a good player down the stretch for us.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Kenny had a nice carry for a tutty today too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he runs hard.
That was a good sequence too, because he freed Swift on the play before that with a good block.
Yeah, I mean, he runs. I think he runs hard. I don't understand, the Kenny hate. I see it. I see it a
Yeah,
lot.
I like Kenny. He can't fumble the football.
No, of
But I
course.
like Kenny.
He's not a bell cow, but I mean, I think the guy, when he gets the opportunity, touches, he's productive, which is all you ask from anybody offensively. It's, give me some kind of be productive, and play hard. I think that's what he does.
Yeah.
He's a
Martian,
good north-south runner.
I don't think it's Cam Jurgens, Martian, and the other guys could jump in here too. I just think we just don't run the ball at all. We just don't run it.
Yeah, I mean, we don't ever get under center and run it. We run a ton out of shotgun. I mean, and again, we don't run the ball enough. Now today we did run the ball more than we've been running it, which is great to see, especially against a team that's a good defense. You got to keep them honest. But yeah, I mean, I don't really I haven't liked our running game all year. I don't like how we're using it, but whatever. I mean, we keep winning, so I'm not gonna hark on it too much. But yeah, I don't like it. I'm with you. I don't like it.
No, absolutely. Yeah. When Penny got in there, of course, we go under center, and it's like, geez, I wonder what they're going to do here when we go under center. Hand the ball off to Penny. So how about we switch over to the defensive side? What are who your game balls go, or your players of the game defensively?
I'm going to go. I mean, you could go BG, but
threw a lot of emojis. Love it, Tony.
Emoji heavy. You know what? I'll go Blankenship.
Oh, my boy Reed.
I thought he played pretty well today, and then obviously the huge play on the goal line to undercut their. They tried to run a pick play on me, undercut the pick, was able to get over there, keep them just basically an inch short of the goal line. So that ends up becoming a humongous play. So I'll go Reed. I feel like he's actually played the best of everyone in our secondary for the whole season, probably. So I'll go Reed.
Yeah, I mean, he had 7 total tackles, 4 solos, 2 pass deflectors, and he actually gets credit for that fumbled recovery at the end there. They actually called that a fumble on CeeDee.
On CeeDee? Okay, nice.
Yeah, for me, it's, sweating to the oldies. Josh Sweat, that's the play of the game. You know what I mean? I know the goal line play, and Blankenship. I'm a huge Blankenship guy, but their first down, they're 1st and 10 from the Philly 11.
Yeah.
So, and you feel like, did this really happen? Blow this game, and he gets an 11-yard sack to absolutely demoralize. Just basically end the game, because they were, Dak didn't spike it. He ran another play for stupidity, threw it up.
Yeah, they're scrambling. Yeah.
Scrambling like dumb. All right, and then they left him with one play, from the 22-yard line. So
you're right, Sweeps. That was the play of the game.
Yeah, Josh Sweat. That's a game set match. That's a checkmate right there.
And especially too, right? Because that's about the time of the game too. Well, obviously we're all sweating, right? But it came after the whole time where we're sitting there and we're not getting home, and Dak's just sitting back there picking us apart, and we're like, we're gonna lose this game, right? Well, else I even think you said that text.
Yeah,
like,
we had just jumped off sides too right before that.
We're gonna lose this game, and no, Sweat came through, and Sweaty's having a great year.
He's been our most dependable pass rusher all season.
Yeah,
he has.
Coach Marcus chimes in, put a package in for Penny.
Second half of the year, that could be a good thing. Marcus, I'm going to do.
Run the ball with the gunner pistol as a running back. I hate running east-west, which we would like to get under center a little bit more.
Yeah, I would love to be under center more. Especially when there's a minute and 40 seconds left, and we know we need to run the clock out, and we're still running out of shotgun and throwing passes. Like, don't get me started.
Well, that's what. Here's Martian's point. Normally, we put teams away with our run game, But this year we just looked iffy with our run game, and he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
You know, in previous years we've ran to win the game and draw the game out, right? I thought when we got the ball with that right around the 5-minute mark, 6-minute mark, I thought we were going to put a drive together that ate up 4 minutes and got us a field goal at minimum, and made them less than a minute go all the way down to score a touchdown to even be in it. So. We didn't do that, but that's what I envisioned when we got the ball back. So, Wills, you went blanket chip. Sweeps, you went sweaty. I'll give some love to the old guy. I'll give some love to BG. Sack and a half again. Showed up at a time where we desperately needed some pressure, right? And you wouldn't have thought.
As Tommy was killing him.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought that you'd have gotten it from the old guy, but he showed a burst and back-to-back plays. He notched his notched the 1.5 and his presence in the game for a while, for the first time in a long time. Long time.
I had to pull the binoculars out. Is that Grant? That BJ? But that was a huge play too, though. Yeah, Sweat's play, huge play. BG's sack, huge play. Big spots.
Yeah, Reed got burned a little bit, but he made the big plays when we needed it.
That's what you can ask for. There wasn't really much else I could have gave it to. I'm not giving it to anybody else.
Yeah, it looks like so we had 5 total sacks. Sweat got 1, Reddick got 1, Brandon, like you said, got a 1.5, and then Nakobe, Jalen, and Fletch all got a half sack.
I thought, honestly, last week I was saying I thought he looked pretty good. Ricks did not look good.
No,
he
definitely he was all over the place. He was all over the place and not in good spots.
No.
Got beat, committed a couple penalties too. It felt like the game was very penalty heavy too. Did you guys feel that?
We were very undisciplined. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, the final drive, 3 crucial, terrible penalties, and we still somehow won the game. It's amazing.
10 penalties.
What did you guys, Sweeps?
No, 10 each. 20.
Okay.
22.
Yeah.
Yes.
The refs definitely made their mark. They definitely wanted to show that they were there today.
Yeah, I mean,
picked one up on us too. That was
huge. That probably was.
Yeah.
I think hands to the face, absolutely.
Yeah.
But we talk about time. Everything was. I mean, and that's the kind of outcome you get. It comes down to the. It kind of comes down to the final drive, the final possession, because time of possession even, penalties even. Sacks were 5-3, turnovers. 1-0.
And that was the CD one too.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day,
it was nothing. Yeah,
no impact.
But they had 2 turnover on downs though, so that's huge.
They had more total yards. Third down and 4th downs. Eagles were 9 for 16. They were 9 for 20. So both teams on 3rd and 4th down. Converted 9 times.
Nerdy Sports Guy, last year's team would have done that. Oh, he's going up.
Probably run the clock out, he's saying.
Yeah, up 11, 6 minutes left. That's kind of that same thought I had, right? Up 6 minutes, up 11, go down, kick a field goal, run 5 minutes off the clock, go up 2 scores, end that game. Tony Woods, how banged up is Jalen Hurts? Because Lawrence popped him on their knee.
He is banged up.
He's definitely banged up.
Good time.
Obviously, we won't know until probably tomorrow or Tuesday.
I mean, he's okay, but he's banged up.
But he played the rest of the game, right? He finished the game.
I mean, listen, and he was still running around. He was good. Obviously, he wasn't bad.
8-1, baby.
That's good.
8-1.
Yeah, 8-1, absolutely.
That's all. That's what I was coming back in saying. I felt like I was going for a while.
We could definitely little
Joey beat our whatever.
DiBardino.
Yeah, he's like default.
No, I told you, Joe. If you listened, right, Joe? 'Cause I know
Joey's
you
got-
don't listen well. I know
Joey
you
has
don't
issues
listen
with
well.
listening, Tom.
Yeah, I know you do, Joe. And
Always.
I said that.
Remember, Joey, 20 degrees.
I had to get a happy birthday in too up there. All right, I had to get the cake in, happy birthday, and then I got to eat a piece too. You know what I mean? You're not going to go out. You're not going to go wish your wife a happy birthday or sing happy birthday to her and not eat a slice of cake with them too. So I wanted to get that. I wanted to get that done, and now I'm back for half an hour, and then we wrap the show up in a half an hour. We're good. We're good. I had a piece so bad I figured it killed 2 birds with 1 stone while I'm up there.
That's okay, yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, some kind of butter they used. I'm like, I just want to sleep with that butter. I want somebody to put that butter all over my body. Put that butter all over. No, okay. So, what you guys give your players of the game both sides?
Yeah, we did both sides.
Yes.
All right. Offensively, it's a little weird, right? Outside of Jalen, I'm just going to give it to Jalen. I know it's like, easy to go around and try to find somebody else, but I'm just going to give it to Jalen. And defensively, give me BG. He looked really old trying to catch Dak running for the 2-point conversion. I was like, man, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I know why you're still here. That's what made me say that in a group message. Like, I know why you're still on the team, right? You're my guy, but you looked old. It's like, man, that's the first time you really looked old to me, right? And I'm like, okay. And then 2 seconds later, he ends up with a sack and a half for the game. So, I'll give him a game ball.
Big spot.
Yeah. It's sometimes it's it's like watching the fourth quarter of the NBA. That's when the big time plays are made. Right. So that's when the closers come in. So you need closers, and when you're defensive lineman, you need closers that time in a game too. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So, I don't know, Marcus, what that's all about. It is getting annoying. Like, they can't just be honest with the knee. It's got to be this, like, the CIA's on this, right? It's like a CIA's keeping it top secret. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Something's bothering him.
Everybody can see it. We got eyes.
Just tell him.
We got eyes.
Like,
he's been hobbling for weeks. Everybody sees it.
We see it.
We see it.
Dean got injured again. Cotton ball for life. Dean got injured again. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not a surprise either. So it seems like
he hurt his foot. They said foot injury.
Well, it looked like DeVonta was banged up too at one point.
He was jumping around at the end, so I think he's fine.
I know he was at the end, but I still saw that. I mean, the end, okay, I got you. But there was a point where in the fourth, he was limping around like,
at one point, everyone on our team was limping around in the fourth.
Well, I thought
was down. Slay was down.
Well, early on, Reddick was down. Reddick went down.
Reddick
was
down.
My arm.
Cox was down.
Yeah.
Jordan Davis was down.
I think Fletcher does it for the ladies. Like, he goes down once a game for the ladies, so his name can get mentioned. I mean, I almost feel like Fletcher, as much as I love Fletch, right? He's been here forever, right? But I feel like he always goes down, I feel like, once a game so people can mention his name and they can talk about him. Because he probably knows how to broadcast.
He took over Jason Peters' spot as the guy that's on the ground once every game.
Just once. He'll be back in.
Him. Did you see he was active today? Peters for Seattle?
Yeah, if he played, he didn't help. Baltimore have been running roughshod through teams, man.
Yeah, I mean, Morrow and Cunningham are probably better, right? Because they played better, Marcus, right? They played better than the Kobe has. But if he's healthy, I know they got to play him, right? Because they got to see you got to see what you have, and he's so young. Like, he hasn't played a lot of football, right? I mean, he didn't play at all last year. He played special teams. So, like, and he's played how many games this year, right? So I don't know. Doesn't look great yet. But, I think, Morrow and Cunningham's definitely, I feel like, he's done a good job. But Morrow,
Cunningham had 10 total tackles, 8 solo today, 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass deflection.
That's what I'm saying, Nerdy Sports Guy. All right, Cox is back up. Women everywhere, perk up. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly where I was going with it. Question, James said, do you think Bradbury's washed? I think he's closer to washed than being great or being really good. I mean, I can answer you that. Do I think he's full wash? Like, do I think it's full turn, like spin cycle? No.
He's in the tub for
No,
sure.
like you're starting to wash. It's like you're starting to wash, and you're like close to grabbing. You're close to grabbing the detergent, right? That's what you get out of
but he's in the tub.
Yeah, he's in there. He's in there.
Yeah, it's more like every day it's Halloween for him. He's dressing up as an NFL player. I don't know what's left in that tank. I hear you.
Maybe not much.
A lot of dress up.
He has not played well.
No, so
I feel like Slay hasn't played great, and he's played much better than Bradbury.
Much better. So much better.
It's scary. Imagine saying that. Imagine saying that out loud. Imagine saying that out loud, Brian. Proud of you.
Neither one.
That was my inside voice. That was my inside voice. No.
No, I said spin cycle. You know what I mean? I said he's about to get. He's not in the spin cycle yet, Mar. He's close.
Could have saved us a PI if he just spun his head around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get easier said than done, but get your head around.
I mean, if you turn your head around, he probably picks the ball off.
Get your head around.
And then I just feel like I don't know. I would just think of my dad like screaming at me like, you make a horrible play. Get up. I don't care if your face is facing the other way. I don't care if your leg is disconnected. You get up and you say, "That's my bad, fellas. I'm in the huddle and I got 9 fingers and I'm facing the wrong way." It's amazing when guys make mistakes. They're like, "Yeah, I'm down. I'm hurt. I'm injured." Nobody will remember the stupid play I just made because they got to bring up. Yeah, I got hurt. Oh my God.
I don't care if your face is the other way.
It's every time, though. It is every time.
Got me.
Get in the huddle.
Every time. I've never seen anything like it. Yeah. Every time a guy goes down.
Oh, it's my hammy. One of my kids dove today, and then he's like grabbing his back. Dove for a ball, missed it. I'm like, I'm not even going out there. I don't care. You're fine. You're fine. Get up.
Yeah, you just missed it. Like it happens.
It was 10 feet away from me. Why'd you die?
Tweaks. I love the tweak. Like you ground out and then you come up.
Oh, I yelled out. No, I literally
lame.
I mean, you know me. I'm a royal asshole. I yelled out, "Why'd you die?" You know what I mean? Like it was 10 feet away. Most people are like, "Great hoss! Great hoss! Great effort, man! Love that kid's effort." I'm like, "Why did you die?" 10 feet away.
Tried diving from the 5 like Dak.
Yeah, Dak took off from the 20. Thought he could get in.
Almost made it, Dak.
You're this close, buddy. This close.
Oh God, he needed Dwight Howard's rainbow.
Almost made it. Then when he could have made it, he stepped out. Love it.
Yeah, let's stay.
I'm gonna bypass that one.
Yeah, let's everybody bypass that one, please.
Hey, get myself off camera real quick.
Yeah, wasn't here for that.
Knowing your sweeps.
Wasn't here for that one.
He said he could do whatever he wants with his
guy likes to have fun.
With his thing,
Great job.
Hey, great having you. It's been a good 9 years. Hey, it's been a great.
Thanks, White. I hope it was good for you too, buddy.
I've been looking to buy some land in Idaho.
James, do you think it's more our defensive scheme or players not executing? I'll tell you one thing, James, I do know. Getting after the quarterback doesn't take much scheme to it. Now, you want to stunt and do other things, yeah. But your talent winning one-on-ones is on your talent winning one-on-ones. Now, do I think it's some of the same? Like today, I didn't see a lot of pressure outside, like blitz pressure. Not like just front four. There was a lot of front four. Mm-hmm. If they don't win, we don't win. And then you allow Dak a lot of time, right? That's what I didn't like today. That's a lot of what Gannon did. Today felt like a lot of bend but don't break. A lot of bend but don't break. The thing that makes our defense look the way it's looked to people is we're not taking the football away. So that's the biggest thing defensively is like are we back to the old days where we never get a turnover? Like we're like is CJ Gardner-Johnson the only guy who can take a ball away in the history of Eagles football? Like I'm asking for everybody that's been an Eagles fan like myself. Like it doesn't make sense.
Tom.
Like where's our takeaways? Why are we not a strip? Like we don't get strip sacks. We
I've been
don't
saying
get
this
like
forever, I feel like.
nothing.
When's the
I
last
swear
time
to
we
God.
caused a fumble?
Like such a good defense that doesn't take the ball away. Hey, Eagles got a great defense. We never take the ball away. It's amazing. It's freaking amazing. Like, don't tell me how good Slay is and Bradbury and freaking everybody else. I need takeaways. Like the Cowboys are good because they take the ball away. They got 28 put on their ass today because they didn't take the football away. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that great defense, by the way, got 28 put on their ass. Everyone was scared shitless of them. They're good. They're good. I think when they do really well, it looks like from today that their front was winning up front in terms of stopping the run, right? And in terms of getting after the quarterback. Like they look like they were creating havoc with their front today. And they got a good secondary too, even without Diggs. So
yeah, I was gonna say they they don't
they're very good.
They keep everything in front of them pretty much. They don't really let you get deep on them.
Well, that's the same thing we do, right?
Yeah.
But the difference in Dallas is they take the football away at a high rate. So their defense is going to be way better because you're getting turnovers.
And when your when your front four pressure is not getting home, it's forcing your secondary to cover a lot longer than normal, right? Because it's just because now Dak has got all this time, right? We talk about it all the time, Tommy. What made it so good in 2017, 2018, right? Our front got home. Our secondary didn't have to cover so long. What made our defense so good last year, right? Our front got home at a record pace, as we saw, and our secondary didn't have to cover as long because our front was getting home. Now our front isn't getting home as often as it did, and now our secondary is getting exposed for the deficiencies that's back there right now.
Yeah, and I think this changing out linebackers at one point again, starting with Nakobe, going to Nicholas Morrow, then you go back to Nakobe, right? And then you bring in addition to Kevin Byard. That's all over the middle stuff, right? But that's over the middle position. So just to be common sense, Tom, for a minute here, like that would tell me that that's a spot of the field that I would try to take advantage of as another team, right? Like, okay, let's see what Nakobe Dean has early on in the year. Okay, he got hurt. Let's see what Nicholas Morrow is early on in the year. Okay, they went back to Nakobe. Let's go see what he is. Then our safeties have been in and out all year. And now you finally have two mainstays, hopefully, right, for the rest of the year in Byard and Blankenship. That now you're hoping this is where I stand. Like the chemistry gets going. The bye week's perfect because now you're talking about Kevin Byard's here for 4 weeks. That's a camp. That's a camp. So you're if you ain't up to speed now, honey, you ain't ever up to speed. You know what I mean? So that's simple. So with him, it's simple. So now it's playing with guys, right? It's learning, right, communications with guys. That's the stuff that comes now. That's the stuff you're looking for now. And now keep growing with that. If they can all stay on the field together, those four, right? In terms of the two corners and the two safeties. Now, linebackers, okay, if Nakobe's out for 2 or 3 weeks and Morrow plays well, then guess what? Chalk the year up, man. He's on a 1-year deal anyway. You can always go back to Nakobe next year, right? Yeah. Because obviously you're not going to keep running the guy out there.
Or not at all. If he's
or not at all.
We want him. You want him to be. You root for him, but maybe he's not the guy.
You haven't played special teams. If he plays well, then you see what you got next year. If he doesn't play well, maybe it's time to move on.
And Morrow must have just been around the football because he only had 2 tackles and 1 solo on the day. Right, so it's not like he made a whole lot of plays. He just might have been around the ball to where people were seeing him.
Who?
Morrow.
Well, he didn't play today until Jacoby went down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jacoby had 3-1.5.
I know you're on the course, babe. You know what I mean? Lock in here.
Yeah, I think Nakobe left around half, right? Around half, I'd say.
I don't know when he left, to be honest with you.
I think it was around half. But I know that they said that he wasn't going to return with a foot injury during the third quarter, so I think it was around half he left.
I love Josh Allen. Another Josh Allen turnover. Shocking.
Yeah, terrible throw.
I mean, I absolutely love the dude. My God, real is real. He is a machine. He is a turnover.
Yeah, that's just a bad ball too.
You're
throwing that too.
The corner's staying with him. You can't throw that.
Yeah, Ethan, I don't have a problem with our running game. I think we will be fine running the football. I think the other side with your running game that creates problems is when you keep having a different right guard in. The best, but again, it shouldn't be an excuse. These guys should be good. I think we're going to be way better when we get Juergens back. You know, and I think guys got to get healed up a little bit too. Like I think it's going to be a real helpful week for an extra week for Lane Johnson, right? Was what he was dealing with. So some of these older guys, I'm sure, could use a week too, right? You know what I mean? Like they're not against one.
I think everybody could right now.
He's obviously such an amazing vet, but his timing on that on the kickstand is unbelievable. His kickstand is unreal. It's unreal. The timing. It's all legal. I mean, the kickstand. It starts. Boom. That's it. Starts the.
That's it. Bike's down. Bike's down. Hey, Mike's landing.
He's gone. Like sight bike. Wheelie time. Boom.
Great game. Great game.
Amazing. It really is. It really is amazing. I mean, he's such a special player. I love how they like Lane Johnson never gives up sacks. He held the ball for 45 seconds. Like, the guy's probably going to get there. That was like at least a 6-second hold of the football or 5 because nobody was open. Like that happens, you know. But he's sensational, right? You know. Yep. But I can't believe he gets away when it's always on time.
I know.
Like sometimes I'm like that was offsides.
Yeah, a lot of people on other teams are like fans. Other teams fans always complain.
You guys watch enough football? Hold on, you guys watch enough football? It's all over the league. That guys are getting those little. Look like they're all sides, right? It's over the league.
First off, how many times did their lefty end line up in a neutral zone today? They finally called it in like the third quarter, but he was lining up in neutral zone all fucking game.
Yeah,
all day.
We just don't ever call them anymore. What are we doing? How can I see this from home every time and the refs can't see it? It's mind blowing.
It really is. You question a lot of things.
That's like the guy missed, on the 2-point conversion. The guy missed it. Like they had to look at that. Like you have one job, dumbass. You're right there.
You pay attention to the foot.
Yeah, don't worry about the pylon. I mean, how about this? You can both take this. Roll your head and then find the pylon. The guy's like looking at the pylon. Like that's decent. Is he bounce or not? Great. And a terrible challenge by Nick. Like you said, as much as we love Nick. And he does a good job.
Thought it was pretty obvious he got there.
Terrible challenge. You can't. It's an absolute hog posh in there. You can't see. We all thought he did, and
I didn't think he did, but you don't challenge it.
No, you lose.
I also think they let that play go a lot of time, right?
They're not going to.
They didn't blow the whistle. They let that play draw out. Like they definitely didn't blow the whistle.
I thought he got it with the second effort. It looked like he got it at least.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I don't give a shit. Hold on.
He was stopped.
I didn't give a rat's ass if he got it. If he looked short, indifferent, that's not a challengeable play. That to me is you. Yes. That's you panicking or not thinking as a coach. That's you just reacting like as a fan, where you can't react like that as a fan. You got to react the way as a coach. You got to calm yourself down and think about there's no way I'm winning this. This ain't 4th and 1. Back in the day, they stop him again, right? They stop him again. Like, let it go.
Yeah, it's like a mini temper tantrum. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And guess what? It could have been big.
I can only do one thing, and I'm going to throw my challenge flag. You know what I mean?
It could have been big because we didn't have any timeouts left at the end there when we were reeling and penalty after penalty, and we could really use the timeout. Thank God we got the defensive stops that we did because that could have loomed large.
Yep.
No, it really could have. I'm just proud. I'm like, listen, I can't say it enough because we've done with enough bad football here, right? When a team's like this good and this tough, and we're
a little spoiled right now.
Yeah, they find different ways to win, man. Yeah. I sit around here proud. I said the same thing about the Phillies when they make their runs like they do, right? You see that resiliency and toughness that we didn't see at the end, but at the end of the day, like this is what makes it enjoyable, right? When it's your own, when you can sit here and say like,
our team's really good in the NFL. It's a good time.
It's a good time. Sixers are 4-1 if anybody's paying attention, right? They
and guess what? I'm back in. We got that piece of shit bum off.
Get in here. Get in here. Get in here. Get in here. You get in here. You get in here.
I'm back.
Love to have you. Well, rub it ahead. Rub it ahead. Let's go. Let's go. Good to have you guys.
Back.
Been a while. Been a while. Been a while since
I might buy a taxi jersey.
Hey, been a while since turbulence. Been a while since turbulence on A2D. We've had a lot of turbulence on A2D in a while. It's good to have the turbulence back.
You know what I mean? Good to be back. Good to be back.
Total up one time. Let's go.
I'm sure I'll be criticizing Tobias in like 2 weeks, but I'm back.
Hey, we got 3 seats here. Plenty of room for everybody.
Dwight, hop in. Hop in.
Plenty of
Dwight, water's warm.
Plenty of leg room. But
What's
no,
wrong?
I mean, you know, when you
With
got winning organizations, you know,
And Dwight's going on there with us here.
dude,
Are we doing it on purpose? Are we ignoring it on purpose? Or are we just not? We haven't heard the Dwight. Well,
I heard the Dwight. Just
Okay,
I
well-
passed by it.
no, I figured it was my last show. So I mean, I'm just trying to
I just dropped like 7 Dwights in a row. I went on like Dwight. Like Dwight Schrute. Is that Schrute?
Like a Dwight party.
Yeah, I was just gonna, I was gonna say something about my cousin. I was gonna say something about my cousin, but I just let it go. I figured it was my last show.
We're all back in 1 second. Hey, Greg, we need that clip rep. So remember that timestamp in the Sixers. That's a great one for tomorrow. That's a great one. They'll lose tomorrow night now.
I'm
that's
back.
But no, they look good. But no, this team's tough, right? The Eagles, that is. They are tough. They find ways to win football games. And guess what? Right? We've all been guys that weren't sure coming into Jalen's career what he was going to be in the NFL in terms of the caliber, right? We knew he was a winner. But dude.
But just put that situation. Just go put that same situation, today's situation, and you put it on. What is it? 32 teams. Baseball's got 30, right? So football's got 32.
32, yeah.
32 teams. You know, I'm gonna ask you to name any other team, and it doesn't have any other team that gets it done first and goal from the 10 when all hell was breaking loose, and it felt like, I mean, it just felt like that was, that game had slipped away. You know what I mean? So you'll be hard
100%,
pressed.
Chiefs.
You'll be hard pressed to count on one hand. All right, I'm not saying you're not going to find somebody, but go ahead, and I ask the audience too. Like I ask you guys, and I ask the audience, look around and riddle me how many other teams in the NFL win that football game when the other team's going in from the 10.
I would say
Maybe the Browns, but they're probably not in that position though. But
no.
the Browns.
Listen, I would say you're like maybe the Niners.
I love
like-
the Browns defense.
Like I'm talking about defenses, like maybe the Niners,
Yeah.
maybe the Browns. Like great defenses, sure, but I mean maybe a handful if you're lucky, right? Maybe a
Especially the way
handful
we
of
were
teams.
reeling.
Yeah, the way you were reeling, like and a handful is being generous, right?
Yeah.
Handful is being real generous here, and not trying to be too much a homer about it, but in reality, man,
That's what
maybe
I'm
like,
asking. I don't,
yeah.
I don't see anybody's bow in their chest and trying to I'm asking as an outsider because I was impressed with it. I mean that's why
it just goes back to the toughness,
monster
right?
play by Slay. It's just a monster play.
Yeah.
It just defines this football team. You know what I mean? And that's the key. What Will just said. Like they're real. It's not just that they made one big play and the Cowboys, broke a 70-yarder and got down to the 10. Holy cow! Here we go.
How's this happening? Yeah.
Everything, everything was caving in. All right. I mean,
Well, that's what it's all based on, right?
It's done wrong. They did wrong. You got a PI, a roughing the passer, an offside by Jalen Carter. He jumped offside.
But it's it's next man up, right? In so many different levels, right? Like, hey, Joshua, you haven't made a play all game, right? You haven't made a play all game, right? Essentially. And you come up and make arguably the biggest play in the game, right? If not the biggest play in the game, outside of Steen's fumble recovery, right? So, like, you come up and make a big play like that, and it just shows you, BG, you have been a milk carton the whole year.
Yeah.
All year. Dallas game, you get a little rever, right? A little 6 to midnighter, and bang, you find yourself. So it's like, that's the great thing. That's what defines like really special teams is when you have different guys. You're not saying like, okay, waiting for Von Miller to get a sack here, right? You know what I mean? Or waiting for one guy on your D line, like, oh, waiting for Reddick, need Reddick. Like, no, I need other guys. I need a Jalen Carter game. I need a Fletcher Cox game, and we've gotten those games. I need a Josh Sweat game. I mean, he's second in the NFL in Harry's. Josh Sweat. So, I mean, that's not something to put your nose up to.
He's been our best pass rusher all year.
Yeah, if that wasn't a tale of two organizations and what they're all about, I don't know what else. I can't give it to anything else. That's the Cowboys in a nutshell. You know what I mean? Like
1996 on.
They want to strut around and do their boys and all that stuff. That's them in a nutshell. And then it's the Eagles where, like, everybody hates you. And you find a way. That's the two different organizations. All right. And that's just, the Cowboys are always the sexy one, wearing the short mini skirt and the high heels and the oil money and all that stuff. And it looks pretty. And it just don't get it done.
Who talks sweat? Hold on. Who talks shit on Sweat? Nobody talks shit. We were giving him love. I was saying he's second in the NFL in hurries, right? In pressure. Sorry, that's big. Listen, I'm gonna get fired from my own company if I don't run commercials. So I got to do that. We'll come back on the other side. We'll finish you off, top you off. Eagles, Cowboys. We'll give you. We got a lot of time to give you a preview for Chiefs, but since we're not on the following Sunday, right? We might not be on next week. Maybe we are, right? We'll have that talk. Maybe we do one, but we'll give you a little preview for that. We'll give you our crumbs of the week, so stay tuned for all that. Eagles improved to 8-1. That's gigantic. Let's go. We beat the Dallas Cowboys. Makes you feel even better. So if you're not feeling good today about the Philadelphia Eagles, you never will. Disagree. Only on HD Radio. We'll be right back.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
In our family, food is our daily bond. My nonna, affectionately called Mama by many, found solace and joy in the kitchen, sharing her love through delicious creations. She turned her culinary passion into a flourishing business alongside her husband and sons in 1983. Celebrating 40 years is a testament to our exceptional team, friends, family, and beloved customers. With gratitude, we look forward to the future, expanding our brand to share the highest quality Italian food and wine nationwide. Our heartfelt thanks to everyone who has played a part in our story. Grazie mille.
Hats.com is the premier destination for quality and fashion-forward hats and more, with designs for every style and trend. Locally based and run by Philly sports team fanatics, Hats.com can help you elevate your hat John. Utilize the easy-to-use guides at Hats.com to find your perfect size and style, and shipping and returns are free. Hats.com. Find yourself in a hat. Use code Philly for 15% off your order. Hats.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Agree to disagree. Only on A2D Radio. We started the show off, and our poll question is, this is to try to keep it different, right? This Eagles team is better than last year's team. Do you agree or disagree? You can still let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, that's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. We ask you nicely, hit the like, subscribe, follow, join the conversation. All right, you hit the like, subscribe, follow, you get to hear Dog Talk on A2D Radio. So, if you don't like us, you definitely like Dawkins. And if you don't, then we can't help you. But to the voting, 60% disagree, 40% agree. So right where we're sort of at, we're a little less than that because we're 1-4 ratio here. But yeah, sounds about right. People would tend to think that the team that went to the Super Bowl is better. But this team has the makings of a team that can do that too. So, but again, that comes down to a lot of things going your way, not only in games, but health. Right. So it's hard to say that. But talent wise, this team arguably is better. I'll die on that hill. Because I think they are, especially when you had Byard. Like, I didn't have Byard when I said this in the offseason. Now you give me a Pro Bowl caliber safety, it makes me feel a lot better about where we're at. If you tell me, I traded CJ for him, not saying I'm trying to trade CJ, right, at the time, but, if that's what it was, like, that's not bad compensation back, right, guys? When you look at it like that. Yeah. Josh says we need a power back. Well, you're not getting one now. Unless, a buddy in town that can run hard.
We don't run the ball, so we don't really need a power back. But I hear you.
Thanksgiving games.
The power back's not going to really help us there.
Turkey Day games are coming up. You might have a buddy that can can rumble and stumble. So keep your eyes out.
Yeah, I might retire. I'm getting close to retirement over here for Thanksgiving Day games.
Billy Middlebrook, great place.
Yeah, go get blunt. There's nobody left. You know, you're in this with what you're in it with, and you know, now again, you gotta get fresh over the break, get your body right, and come back for a big second half run here, and get ready for Kansas City. You know, they have 2 weeks for you. You have 2 weeks for them. You know, they have a little more traveling than you, so you know, gives you a slight advantage, I guess. Sure, but listen, they're not an offense that's going to dice you up. At least they shouldn't, right? You know, they're just not. You know, they're finding ways to win right now, right? I think like they're really finding ways to win. Little smoke and mirrors. So they're not. I don't think they're as good as they were last year, but they're still really good. So
yeah, their defense is better, I'd say. Their offense is definitely not as good.
No, not as good. And listen, they still got the best quarterback, right? So he's going to make plays like he always does. But that's a game where you should be able to go there and win. You know, if you're as bad as we are, right? We're bad boys like we are. We should be able to go to Arrowhead and win that football game, right? Because that's a game you feel like you can put points up on, right? Like, so that's where I look at this football team. There isn't a place in the country, you know, and I don't know if I felt that way. I probably did last year, so I can't make that argument. But I don't know if there's a place in the country I'm scared to go with this group. You know what I mean? I'll go play anybody anywhere. So that's how I feel about them, which is what you want to. Which is how you want to feel about your team.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a nice thing to have.
That's what you should always feel that way about your football team. But I hear you. There's a lot of people that meow out there. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But a lot of meowers out there. But you should always have confidence in your team to go anywhere and play. Doesn't mean you're going to come out to win, but you're going to show up. You're going to show up and take somebody's best shot and either trade blows or find a way.
Yeah, you guys want to get in Crumbs? Brought to you by Hats. Brought to you by Hats.com. You can use code Philly, get 15% off your order over at Hats.com. So make sure you do it. We're also brought to you by Carlino's Italian Market. Shop Carlino's Italian food online, gourmet cheeses, meats, olive oils, and gift baskets. Elevate your dining with Carlino's Gourmet Italian Deli. Discover the taste of Italy now. So go check them out. All right, Crumb of the week. Line them up. I'll start it, actually. I got an easy one. That is the one, James Harden. At this point in your career, if you call you say you are the system, right? Joel says to me, he said he was put on a leash here. And Joel and Doc both have rebutted that information, right? Like that, we gave him all the freedom he wanted here. So I don't know what that means. So that sounds like an excuse, right? Excuse-driven shit from James Harden, and just not a feel for life, right? Like at some point in your career, I know you were a great player and a mega star at a time, right? I get it. It's hard to like walk around like you're not after that. I understand that, right? From the competitive side, but also there's a feel for life, and he obviously doesn't have one. Right? So that's where I look at James Harden, and you can just look at this basketball team and how much better ball movement's been, right? All those little things, how much better Tobias has been. Like, it didn't take Captain Obvious to say he's going to be better without just standing in a corner waiting for a three, right? He's going to be better when he can play downhill, right? And you see how much better it is. Like, and it doesn't mean we're going to be a better team. Doesn't mean we're going to get past second round. It just means that guy's a clown. That guy thinks he's bigger than the room, right? And obviously he isn't. And you want to take shots at being lied to. You took less money. It's about me. Look at me. Look at me still when you're not even here. Okay, bro, you took a lot of money, man. You also weren't that guy anymore. You scored 0 points in a game, right? Essentially, you came up small in big games in the playoffs too. So stop acting like that. Oh, the reason we lost or anything else, or you're a megastar. Because if you're a megastar looking for max fucking money, bro, you're dropping 35 a night in the playoffs. That's how that works. Okay, you're dropping 30 plus a night. You're not walking around with a goose egger and a 7-pointer and then a 40 and then 2 40s and act like, well, I showed up. You showed up for 2 games. Like, that's what's expected of you. Like, why is it like, well, Harden, look at Harden. Like, that's expected of you. It's not like Maxie went for a 40 piece, and it's like, look at the young kid, right? Look at the young kid go. That's a different conversation last year. But you talk about him, I expect you to freaking drop 30. That's my rant. It's hard.
Yeah, listen, you look, it's just him in a nutshell. We know that. So it's just, you look at, yeah, exactly. You look at the other night, PJ played, and there's James with his pom-poms and his nice jewelry, and that's what he wants. Everybody look at me, right? You're not even ready to play for another organization. You're a fucking disgrace. You're a disgrace. A disgrace.
Yeah, PJ did his cardio that night too. 22 minutes, no points. So he did a run through cardio wide for sure. All right,
having a couple skate out there.
Yep.
Honestly, I'm right with you though, Tom. I'm not going to use him, but I mean, he could be Crumb of the century. He really could. He's the worst. It's addition by subtraction. We could have gotten nothing back, and it's addition by subtraction. That's how much I hate that guy and how much of a loser that fucking guy is. My Crumb is going to be Chris Broussard.
Speaking of crumbs,
you can't say the R word, but then the double down. Like, I mean, if you've seen the clip, it's outrageous, and he like in a 1 minute period, he starts apologizing. I think he says, "I had a first cousin." I think he almost said we almost put him down, or we had to put him. I swear to God, we had to put him down. He stopped himself, like, oh, he died. Like, he just was. The clip is amazing. It's so outrageous that if you don't know what I'm talking about, just look it up. Chris Broussard. But wow, he has to be. He's got to be Crumb of the week. I mean, it's outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous. Maybe give it a view.
Mike McDaniel, which Mike McDaniel can get it every day for me, but another loss against a good football team. So six wins against tomato cans, averaging 40 points and 500 yards in those 6 wins against the tomato cans. So it looked cute. It's that shiny Porsche that everybody had. I told you guys they're a fraud, and they are. Another loss today, 14 points. Eagles, Bills, Chiefs, absolutely handled them. Under 200 yards passing. Play me the world's smallest violin. Get out of here, right? Absolute fraud, and it's not surprising. And then real quick, just an anti-Crumb, and usually he could fall into this sometimes, is Mark Davis. Love what Mark Davis did, especially if Josh McDaniels clowned him and dressed as him on Tuesday, and he had lunch with him. That's what I heard. I heard Josh McDaniels maybe dressed like him, had lunch with him, and then he cut his head off. Oh, that is outstanding. That is an outstanding power move from a guy with a full haircut and a ton of fucking money. And I love it. Because Josh McDaniels, fuck him. And thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. Another loser. Boom.
Loser.
Yep.
I want to do another shout out like he did real quick, Tommy. Sorry if I can. But how about Josh Dobbs? Shout out Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
Showing up like 3 days ago. Probably doesn't know half his teammates. Definitely doesn't know.
He said that's for this week.
Goes out there and balls for a win today.
Awesome job.
He said, figured out the names of my teammates is for this week.
Yeah. What's your guys' Crumbs?
By the way, Raiders are paying $80 million to Gruden and McDaniels to not coach them.
Yeah, that's fun.
Incredible.
Yeah, don't dress up like the wrong guy for Halloween. That's lesson learned.
Mine's going to be Lincoln Riley and USC. Your defense has been atrocious all year, and now all of a sudden you want to scapegoat the defense coordinator. I'm not saying he's good and he shouldn't have been fired, but what took you till now to do that?
Yeah,
you were trash all last year. You were trash all this year on defense. Like,
listen, I had him in the holster, so great job for you. The other day I had him in the holster, and I forgot. I gotta start writing things down because I got dad break, and that was before the guy even got fired. I had him in the holster because I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
another guy, an offensive genius. All right, everybody's got their red rocket out. He got fucking paid, and he's the cute hire. He's another loser, right? He's a loser in Oklahoma, and he's a loser there. All right, so he's going to win 8 games a year. He'll be 8-3 every year, and the guy they can't play defense. His teams are a disgrace on defense.
Yeah.
All right, you're
Not
the
even
head.
competitive. Not even
You're
competitive.
you're the head of the stake, buddy. Don't fucking point the fingers at people. Starts with you. Start recruiting guys better. Figure it out. All right, but no, you want to just drive the shiny Porsche and be the offensive guy. Big, but that don't work out.
Yeah.
Good one. Wells?
I did Chris Broussard.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did. I forgot about that one. Tried to, at least. You know, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. I don't even know. He's definitely a crumb, more of a moron. You know what I mean? More just like, hey, you're a moron. You know what I mean? You're an idiot.
Yeah.
So, you know,
it's an outrageous 1 minute. It's an outrageous minute.
It really is. Like, I didn't know it could get worse. Like, you said it, now you eat it. Right? You just chew it up. You said, listen, that's on me. I should never say that. I don't need confirmation on who you know. So, like, that's like saying, like, you say something racist, and it's like, well, I got a black cousin. You know, and we put him down. Like, we're about to put him down. Right? Like, what? Like, what? That doesn't have to do with it. You said something you shouldn't have said. Own it. You know what I mean? Take accountability for you saying something stupid. That's like I say. You use the R word.
Bad.
You use the R word.
Drop the first cousin. Drop the first cousin on you.
Like, I didn't even know. Like, what's the difference if it's your first, second, or third to begin with? Okay, and then that, like, they make it as your first. That's even closer. So that tells me once you said first cousin, you ain't even close to that cat, or you would never call him a first cousin. You know what I mean? If you weren't close to him, if you were close to him, you said, "Yo, my cousin." My family,
died, and then he
we had
said
to put him
1 or
down.
2 months ago. He don't even know when he died.
Yeah, you know when he died. He said, oh, we had to try to put him down. I mean, he passed away.
Died 1 or 2
he
months
died.
ago.
Yeah,
We already
he was
know
in panic mode. Panic. Like, I don't do my hands.
and we already know what clown Nick Wright is, but that guy with a straight face trying to save it at the end. But no, I don't think anybody would crucify him for it.
You live in America, Nick?
No, he lives in La La Land. He lives in La La Land.
Yeah, everybody's going to crucify you for it, but at least you probably won't get like too much. You get enough scrutiny, but you went on the 1 minute tirade about how, you know, you love the R's. You know what I mean? You got R's all around. Like, what does that mean? Like, what are you talking about, dude? And I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at the fact that you're that stupid to be like, you know, my first cousin. He lived with me for like a week. We had to put him down. Like, what? What are you saying? Oh, God. Morons everywhere.
Outrageous.
Morons everywhere. The whole world's littered with them.
Exactly. But the internet.
Some of them are doing your weather at night. You know what I mean? Some are doing your
turn
weather.
around without seeing a moron, dude.
And I just love.
Some just turn on your local news and watch the weather report. You know what I mean? They're all over.
I love and I just love the you know, the hours afterwards or the 12 hours afterwards when the internet wins. When the internet wins, I love it. You know what I mean? Like the Jets rookie can't get into the thing. Chris Broussard showed up at that smart studio.
They cut me already? Damn, they cut me already? The guy in the middle was the best, though. He's just sipping his coffee like,
he's just sipping his coffee like, I'm staying out.
His one eye went up. When he dropped the R word, his one eye went. Like a rock eye.
Then he's just sipping his coffee like, good to see you, Chris. Good to see you.
Tomorrow's production meeting should go well. That's how he's thinking. This should go well tomorrow. All right, boys. Listen, we're 8-1. We get a little breather here. Catch your breath. Dive into some Sixers. You know, they play tomorrow night, so you got some Sixers coming up, obviously. Enjoy a stupid play-in tournament. Enjoy it all.
Dude.
You know what I mean? Enjoy it all.
Guess what? The NBA was this close to being Crumbs for that. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Bones Highland said, I have no idea.
Floors. We're changing the floors.
Yeah, Bones Highland goes, like, yeah, I don't know. I have no clue what it is. Which is like sort of the answer I wanted to hear from more guys. Like, I have no idea what this means. I'm just going to be playing that night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No idea.
Now, once the guys get to Vegas for a semifinal and a final, and they're playing for $500K, guys will rev up the engine a little bit, obviously. And that's what the NBA's trying to do in defense of them, Wills. They're trying to get guys to stop not playing. Like, so we got to throw $500K around. What do we got? We only have to throw around here to get guys to, and that's the sad part. That's why they should be Crumbs.
It's almost embarrassing that you actually have to incentivize them to just play in the regular season games. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, they're already stealing money.
Here we go with Don on the way out.
Embarrassing.
Oh, yeah. He's been trying to troll. But yes, big week for big game James.
The NBA's dumb, but this is the thing.
What up, man?
I'll leave you guys with this. When the weather changes, obviously, but the nights get darker earlier, right? You start getting darker earlier. That's NBA college basketball time to me. Like, right, I thought, and I'm all clogged up. Sorry for the snap. I'm all clogged up over here, but that's what it gets me smelling like a little West Coast trip sometimes, right? Like I like that. This is my time of year, right? This is like when the sports are going crazy, right? This is when you love it. So part of me, like, as much as I hate the NBA at times, I still love watching it. You know what I mean? Why I say I hate it, right? Why you're like, man, this is so bad. You know what I mean? This is so bad, but I'm gonna watch the next possession. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna, I'll watch a little commercial.
All right, might as well watch the half.
Love me some Kelly.
Right.
I would
Fourth
get
quarter's coming up.
I might get a new Bray jersey.
I might get a new Bray jersey. You know what I mean?
Even before
it's an offense.
Even before he was balling out, just the whole
Harden. He took Harden's girl. He takes his girl and his minutes
and his
job. You know what I mean? And his job. You take his girl and his job.
Drop the 2 kids in there.
I'm hoping that he's like texting him, like, that's right. This is my city. Get out, kid.
Get out. All right, boys.
This city,
Great
just
shit.
like your home, ain't big enough for the both of us.
Just taking everything from you.
It's been agree to disagree. We love you all. Eagles are 8-1. For Brian Wilson, Nick DelGozzo, Greg Milakovic, I'm Tom Arnone. Hit the like, subscribe. Molly, we see you. We love you. We love you all. Everybody tuned in tonight. We'll see you guys next Sunday, maybe. Maybe we'll take a bye week ourselves. We'll see. We'll see where we're at. But, I'll see you all week. I'm around. Everybody's around. We out.